Conditions have just got a little bit better. Just got a wind. I think it's a northeasterly though, this wind, but it's definitely sacking into that we're in. We're fishing in bay, so it's fishing into top end corner. But from past experience, it don't really matter which direction this wind's coming from, as long as there's a wind on this water, it always does it well. And straight away, as soon as the wind picked up, I had a take straight away on right hand rod, so that's 2 fish. Young one's just had a bream, and they're had one bump off on him earlier on, so it is looking alright now. It's looking a lot better than it were earlier. I must admit, my hopes were starting to lose a bit of my faith in that we were going to have some, and then it just burst into life, and it was a nice linear that I had, but it only small, just a Barney rubble. But it's a fish is a fish at this time of year. Lovely colour and all, really still got the winter colours, nice and dark, so we can just see what happens really. It's I've been using an hinge rig, but with a trigger link boom, and it's been doing the business for me. It's what I caught down on treat, and that goes to, and it's what I've had these two here, so I'll be sticking with that. The Jim Shelley rig, and that's the bait that's doing the business, which is a mix of whale's breath and pineapple and butyric acid mixed. Now, I've done them in yellow, both in yellow, for the simple reason of yellow really fish respond well to yellow on here, to the point that I were using these earlier on, which I've done absolutely very well on them. Over the last 12 months, I've done really well on them, especially last year on treat, and it's a bait called tuna apple that I do. It's obviously it's pineapple and tuna. Now I've done really well on them. So I had one of them on one rod. Now they're not really doing the business on here, so I went over to a banoffee, a white banoffee, which I had a fish on earlier on the banoffee. But then I found them in the bottom of my bag. Now they're all I had left from last season, and the large tubs these, so they're the old baits. I think it's about a third tub I rolled last year. This, it's all that's in it is butyric acid and amino, but in higher amounts than normal, and something else that I had as well that kind of has a longer effect on the pH of water. So, and I'm convinced that it makes a massive difference. I spoke to a couple of people about it that are fairly big in the bait world to speak, and they said it's a great idea, and it is something that everybody's got at home in the cupboard, and I bet it's something that don't get used very often, and that's vinegar. So it's butyric acid, amino, and it's got vinegar in there. The vinegar is in there for one sole reason, and one reason alone, and that is it affects the pH of water around the actual hook bait. Now I've not known anybody ever do that before, use vinegar in things, but it's, again, I'm convinced that it's the changing the pH of the water for a short term. It's, even if I caught a different range away from it, it's going to pick it up. It's, the sensors are far greater than ours, so it's definitely going to pick any changes up in its where it's living. You know what I mean, in the water. So I'm thinking that slight change in the pH is the reason that the fish are straight onto it. But with the vinegar, the vinegar will, it seems to last a lot longer with the dissolved salts parts per million. There's also quite a bit of rock salt in all my bait, like I said before, so also that's having an effect on pH of water. So it's just something to think about, you know what I mean? But it just shows that's you know what I mean. It's just a little thing, but it definitely 110%. It makes a massive difference to the point that I've got that both fish. In fact, both fish have come over that bait. It was the safe, so I'd swap the other pop up over to them as well. So definitely makes a difference. So it's well worth thinking about that one, guys.